Hello everyone, welcome back. And today I've been quite busy already. So if you look over here, you can see I've done a little bit of terraforming, just a wee bit. So this only took a couple of hours. Ooh, that tree finally grew. Yay. I don't have my stuff because I jumped off a cliff. But, so I could show you this. I have plans that are somewhere else today. But this was something I did last night while I was watching a YouTube video. And I'm pretty proud of how this turned out. So I did a bunch of different things. So I guess when I first came across this area, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to terraform it, I had the idea that I would build up this hill, because this part of the hill wasn't here before. I'd build up this hill to where it looped around and kind of stayed at the same height. That way it felt like this train station was part of the same area as the pond. So to really make that feeling true, I had to lower this valley here by 4 or 5 blocks so that it felt more connected to this region. It's still way higher than the pond area, but it feels more connected now. And you can see how far I lowered it down because all of this stone. Yeah. But I think this looks really cool, mostly because it looks kind of natural of how terrain would look. Besides this cliff, and I'm not sure if I'm going to try to do like a gradient like people do in modern Minecraft or not. But I do like how it looks. And this is what the bridge looks like now in this new terrain. But this comes with the caveat that there's so much more terrain work to do. This is just the front. This is still all messed up, and how in the world am I going to fix this? Well, it's going to have to surround this entire thing, right? So this is only like a quarter of the terrain work I have to do. So there's still so much more work to do. Also, I'm also going to have to fix this mountain. And I don't have a clue what's going to happen over here. Maybe I could loop it around to where it joins up with that. I'd rather not build that much of an artificial mountain here. Because I do like how this terrain looks already. But I have to do something. So I have to decide what I'm going to do soon. Anyways, so there is something I actually missed about the loading screen. So this screen here, there's an animation now. Did you see that? Wait, look at that. I didn't even notice. I don't know how I didn't notice, but I didn't notice. And there's also even more. I'll play a video here. And in that video, as you can see, now we have this Mojang specifications, I believe is what it said, on the screen before, as like a loading screen before the game actually launches. So that's weird. But today, I want to go over to my snow area. And you go like, what snow area? Well, I'm going to build a snow area. So we're going to add a new area into our world. Currently we have the redstone area, we have the quarry, and now we're going to go build a snow area. And yeah, I'm going to need a bunch of wool, and this is just the start. Here's some more wool. That's good. Here we are. There's some. That wasn't worth it. Let's check the redstone area. Oh, another 32. Have that over here. Oh, 51. That was worth it. It's more than I was expecting. Ooh, I should get this armor. While I'm over here, I want to grab a couple stacks of arrows. So I'm going to go through these swords, killing some skeletons. This place is actually more dangerous than you'd expect, though. Because as you load in the chunks, the skeletons can glitch through the walls. So there might be a guy here who wants to kill us. No, not this time. That's good. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna live here for a little bit. This is never gonna get old. I'm on my last sword. It's really dark because It makes the spawn faster when it's dark. But I went up here, we're going around. Look at these guys. They can see me, which is why they're kind of screwy, but they'll bump each other in here. And yeah, there's a guy here. Yeah, they'll come around. They sometimes get stuck there because they like to look at me. And then they go up this waterfall, the water elevator, and then they drop down, and I get to kill them. I'm gonna light this place up though, because I think there's enough here. Alright, I'll kill these last guys. And they're gonna break my sword. Yeah. Okay. 2 stacks of arrows. I don't think I've ever had 2 stacks of arrows in my life before. At least in alpha. Obviously, I've had infinite arrows in later versions, but I don't think I've ever had more than 10 arrows in my inventory at once in this version. There's mobs out here, so I'm kind of scared to go outside. But let's see if they're gonna try to attack us. Oh, okay. How did this guy get out? Alright. You wanna fight? Come on. Any more foes who want to fill my infinite amount of arrows? No? Okay. Yoink. Yoink. I've never been this kitted out in my life. Alright, let's go to a new area. Let's try to explore. Alright, I'm gonna go that way. I don't know if I've ever seen this place from this angle. That's crazy. That's so cool looking. I'm gonna cover that up with a cliff still, but yeah, I really like that. Huh. Is this normal? Is this how it... Oh, I'm full. Sure, we can get rid of the pork chops. Yeah, I don't think I've ever... I don't remember finding mushrooms like this before. Ooh, that area over there looks pretty cool. I accidentally just ate my last steak. Oh well. We can kill some pigs. Yeah, sorry, it's getting really dark right now, so I don't know how well you can see, but that was my cat. But the hills kind of surround this area completely, and the only issue with this part is that it's a little overly flat here, and also we have these kind of gross waterways. Here's a pond, here's a bay, I guess, cutting into the terrain. And they're not very good looking, but I can cover those up pretty easily. So I'm thinking of making this my place. Yeah, let me try to set up something. Oh, I don't think I told anybody, but I switched it to hard mode, so I'd expect more mobs showing up. I saw 2 creepers over here, and a spider somewhere over here, but that's it. I haven't really saw many mobs at all. No, I don't see anything right now. That's always fun. You don't usually see that anymore. I think they fixed that to where it doesn't happen. But goodbye. So now you can kind of see a somewhat cleaned up area or more view. So we're gonna have to completely transform this into a winter wonderland by Christmas. And what is my plan? Well, I want to fill in this water, like I was mentioning earlier. Probably fill in this little bay here too that was obscured by these trees when we were viewing it from over there. Also, trying to make this terrain a little less flat. So currently it's just perfectly flat. Maybe add like a little hill in the center. And then I want to scatter around some igloos, build some custom trees, which I believe there are ways to do that in this version, but it's a pain. And try to build a Christmas tree. And then we're gonna have to replace all of this, all the ground with snow, and we're probably gonna build like the igloos any other buildings out of wool instead of snow. And you might ask, how am I going to get the snow? Well, we're going to put something in one of these mountains. I haven't decided which one. That's going to allow us to get some snow from the other world. So, let's, I don't know. Let's try to get situated here at least. So I built a little bit of a base down here. And it's not much, but it'll do for now. Should probably light this area up a little bit more so things don't fall out of the sky, try to kill me. Yeah, I guess I'll just start chopping down trees and flattening things. Alright, this is a nice start. I kept one tree for moral reasons. I didn't want to commit genocide, but close enough. Maybe I'll do this. I don't know. Let's do one more. That way this place is kind of blocked off. Because like I said earlier, I don't want to lose my stuff. Okay. Okay, that's my doorway into our little base. Now I have a little bit of dirt. We can start filling this in the sun. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Look at this. It's one of the sign spawners. They don't look like how I thought they were going to look like. I thought it was going to have like a sign in the middle, like standing, but it's like a wall sign. Oh, that must be what it is. When Notch added the wall sign, he had to add another block ID, and that block ID overtook the spawn sign. Or the spawn sign. The mob spawner ID. So, if you don't know, I mean, this is a glitch. If you have a mob spawner that spawned in before, like, I don't know, maybe like June 20-something of 2010, then, it'll change it to a spine spawner, which no longer spawns mobs, I don't think. I mean, we can check. I don't think this spawns mobs anymore. If it does, then that'll be a fun lesson. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. So, what's in the chest? Okay, not bad. I do want to do something with this later. I don't know what, but this will be fun. I figured that we were going to find one over here while we were working, because I generated this terrain before redstone came out, which is back before, back when spawners would have generated like this. Yeah. So eventually I'd like to do something with this, but I don't know. I wonder what happens if I update the block. I'm sure I'll find another, so yep, it's fine. And if I even start breaking it, it doesn't do anything. Huh. Okay. Alright, I should pillar up before I forget where this is. Alright, this is where this is. Nice. So, I gathered a little bit of resources. I had to go back to the redstone area to get this redstone. And I mined the obsidian, and I had to go around my world to get this mossy cobble. So I did all that over a couple of days, 3 days I think. And I mean, I just wanted to play Minecraft, but I couldn't record, so I figured, let's just do a bunch of grindy stuff that we're going to need to do, because we're going to use all that obsidian and mossy cobble to build my justification for being allowed to transfer items between worlds. And what that's going to be is some sort of ancient egg. We're going to die. It's going to be some sort of ancient tomb or prison, I'm not exactly sure, which is holding some deity that we can try to control. And yeah, that's going to be how I justify transferring items between worlds. I'm going to have like a double chest of stuff. I'm going to have obsidian for like dark hallways and such. I have a lot of plans for this area. But why the reason why I'm down here is, well, I mined this out off camera a little bit. That was what I did yesterday. And it actually went pretty quickly with this diamond pick that I have. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a giant gateway here built out of like cobblestone and mossy cobblestone that looks kind of like a stereotypical ancient ruin. And then we're going to dig this, I don't know, whatever 5 times 7 is, 35. We're going to dig 35 blocks that way while going down 5 blocks in a giant staircase tunnel thing. And then we're going to build a big circular room, and then we're going to do the same thing going to the right, another circular room, then the same thing going down here. And then over here, once you've done all that digging, you're about 15 blocks lower than we are right now, near the bottom of the world. We're going to build our ancient prison that is holding the deity. And what we'll have to do is we're going to have to sacrifice items, probably like bread and... because all gods like bread, right? Bread and diamonds, obviously, because diamonds are very valuable. To be able to force it to go between worlds and transfer items that are in one chest into another chest. And so that's what I'm going to justify. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to take a lot of work, and the fact I have to sacrifice things seems reasonable. And I want to have a little bit of build stone here. So that's a new concept from the very recent years of Minecraft, on YouTube at least, the internet culture. And I want to do some build stone down here. But anyways, let's while I'm digging that out, I want to run some experiments up here, because we have to build some Christmas trees. Hi, sheep. Remember, I still need so much wool. It's 13 more. We have so much stuff. Oh, I forgot what I spent like 6 hours of my life doing. There is an absolutely gigantic cave over here. Let me swim over that. For some reason, I always dig into oceans or ponds or stuff. But anyways, I had to build this little staircase going down. This took me forever to go through this cave. And I didn't really find all that much stuff. Like maybe 5 diamonds, a little bit of redstone. I believe we're in the negative quadrant. And that's the reason why I'm not getting very much resources here. But I feel like people overblow how much of a difference it is, because I've seen charts and it's like a 35% difference. So I'm not so sure how much of a difference it is between maybe different versions. Maybe in this version it's worse than other versions. But yeah, I spent many hours going through this cave, and I need to get out before I get lost. Okay, so anyways, there's a few different experiments I wanted to run. So the first one is I want to figure out how near to a tree can other trees grow. So if I like put, I don't know, chapters like this, will all 9 of these grow? Or maybe the corner ones will grow and not the ones that are directly adjacent to the block? Or maybe it depends on the log placement of the tree. I don't know. So I'm going to do a few of these experiments. And then, so that's going to be this row. And then I want to do some experiments. I'm just going to let one tree grow. And then I'm going to figure out if I can put another tree on top of it, close enough so that the leaves touch. I think they could. Like if I have something like this, I'd only have to mine down 2 blocks. But you have to worry about leaf decay, right? So I'm not sure how that's going to work. So that's what this row is going to be for. And then this row here is going to be the opposite, where I grow a tree high up, and then I try to grow a tree below it, and maybe that's the better way to do it. So how do I get down? Okay, so I just need to build something like this. And then I'm going to grow a tree below this one once it grows, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we have all of our experiments set up, so I'm going to go... do I have enough picks? Sure. To get started at least. I'm going to go down there, and I'm going to start mining this, and we'll see what happens with these trees. Well, I broke, I don't know, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 pickaxes, I think. And this is what we got. We need to dig the roof out more because I want it to be like an arch, like this type of curve. And so I still need to mine out that. But this is how long it's going to be. So it's 7 blocks each, and then we're going to put stairs here. I don't have any stairs on me. And I'm thinking of putting lava in the walls where these torches are, just for atmosphere. And then well, I'll show you what the mossy cobble's for in a little bit, but I want to check out what the trees are going to be. So, here's all the trees. A lot of them have grown. Unfortunately, it looks like you can't grow trees right next to each other, because look at how all the trees are spaced. They're all at least 1 block apart. The fact that multiple trees have grown in each of these, that's telling me that it's probably not possible for a tree to grow right next to each other. But we could probably test that more easily by cutting these trees down and just making one long line. I thought about that once I built this. I'm like, oh, this is probably not the best way to test this. Oh well. But more importantly, because I don't think this is the end of the world, we can still get however many leaves we want in an area. The harder thing is getting them to stack vertically. And all of these trees have grown, so I'm going to go ahead and set up the saplings to where we can test if saplings will grow underneath the trees or above the trees, and we'll see if we can get leaves to work correctly. Okay, so what are we going to do? So I think I'm going to break 2 logs and then place a sapling here. And if that grows, that's going to grow 3 blocks around, I think. So I don't know if it's going to grow with the leaf blocks right next to it. I really need it to, because if it doesn't, then I don't think we can get a seamless area. Okay, and now for this one, I went ahead and set all those up. For these, I'm going to need to break this block and probably the first couple oak logs, and then place a sapling to where it will grow into this and add a layer of leaves below this. Maybe I can get away with doing 1 block lower than this. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try to set this up for each of these. Let me light up that block. Okay, we have all of our experiments set up, and nothing has grown yet, even these saplings, so yeah, it might just take a minute to figure out if things are going to work. So I finished this, and over here I'm going to dig a little bit more of a circular room that I mentioned earlier. But first I want to show you what I'm going to use all this mossy cobble for, at least some of it. So if we come up here, within the floor I want to engrave runes that make up a quite famous Swedish text from the 9th century. I think it's called the Rookstone, or Rookstone. I think you roll the R a little bit. But essentially this is just going to be, 5, then 8 plus 3 letters. So that's going to be how long the staircases are. Runes, not letters. And what it reads is, it says, I say the folk tell to the young men Thor. So I'd like to think that the god that's being stored here is Thor, or some version of him maybe some twisted version of them, because I always like it when gods are supposedly meaner than they actually are. But I need to figure out how to build these runes, and that's easier said than done. But I think this is the best way to do this, for this one at least. So the first one is going to be like a kind of like Harry Potter, maybe. I don't know what the symbol is, like a little lightning bolt. And then, right, I built the first word or phrase. I'm not exactly sure how Old Norse works, but I'm pretty sure this is read as Sakum, or something akin to that. Maybe I shouldn't read these. Maybe these are like cursed, and I'm gonna summon like a god into my world. For reals. That'd be fun. This last one looks kind of like a sigh, so I wonder if this is related to the sigh from Greek somehow. Anyways. Okay. There is a deceptive amount of volume in circular rooms, or if domes. This is going to take forever. But this is as high as it's going to go over here. And I'm not going to dig out like a perfect circular room. And the reason is because I want it to look like this is kind of built into a cave. So, and also I don't want to dig out a whole thing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this wall back maybe like 3 or 4 more blocks. And then 3 or 4 more blocks this way. And can keep the contour kind of like this on the outside. And then put a pond here with a waterfall coming down. And then over here, I'm going to push it back maybe another 2 or 3 blocks. Then I'm going to put one of the roots of the world tree over here. Because I think that'd be nice to add some more lore to this region. Yeah. And obviously I need to fix all this cobblestone that's not in the door frame. So this door frame ought to be cobblestone. That should be cobblestone there. But all of the dirt here, the gravel, and the cobblestone that I used like to patch mistakes up, all those need to be stone. Though I may try to do a gradient of cobblestone later on. I don't know if it's going to mesh well with this doorway here. And I'm also going to put gravel on the floor as like put more diversity in the floor. Like here's a perfectly stone one, for instance. Oh, except these 2 mistakes. I can just put gravel here instead and add more diversity. Also for the lighting in here, I mean currently I'm working in here, so I just have so much light. But I'm thinking of lighting things up with redstone torches in here. That way it's more moody and less vibrant, more spooky. Alright, I guess I have 5 more picks. Maybe I'll be able to finish mining this out? Probably not. But first, I want to go look at the trees. So I think this oak log is blocking the trees from growing, so I don't think it's possible to grow it like this. But over here, we are getting better luck. Though it is going to be a bit of a pain to fill this out in the middle. So the trees are growing above. I think this one's the only one that hasn't. Sometimes it's going to take multiple attempts, because over here, for instance, the leaf layer was 3 blocks high, I think. 1, 2, 3, yeah. 3 blocks high, and that was too high for it to connect any, so we'd have to grow a different tree there. But this one, for instance, is really good, as is this one. And so if you wanted to actually make these into a Christmas tree, what you'd have to do is you need to fill out this middle so that you can break it down, because you don't want 3 in the middle. So what I would do is I'd plant saplings like this. And then once these grow, they'll fill out the leaf in the middle, and then you can trim it to how you want it. And I might actually keep a couple of these as what they look like. And I'll have to cut the rest of them down, obviously, but yeah. Also, I think we've established that trees can't grow next to each other, based off this test. There's a lot of them that are only 2 blocks apart, but none of them are growing right next to each other. But we can wait on it more. I think I'm out of range of this area when I'm down there. I think I'm too far away for the trees to update. So maybe I'll go AFK while I'm cooking lunch. Right here, I guess. And I'll see you guys in a minute. It's been a minute. Wonder if anything's happened. Nope, not over here. How about over here? No. Well, that's... I know these things can grow, so I'm not sure why they haven't. I think it's just luck. Hi, pig. And nothing's grown here. Huh. Why is this not grown? Is it just bad luck? Or is there something blocking it somehow? Because I think these two are basically the same tree. Maybe this one grew first. I'm not sure. The reason why I say that is because this block here is the same as this block. So I feel like the fact that this is an air block is part of this tree. I don't know. The experiment is ongoing, but I'm gonna go mine down here, I guess. So this is the shape of the cave that I'm gonna go for. I really like it, but it's such a huge area. Such a huge area. Goodness. That's a cave sound that I haven't heard yet. Huh. So I'm gonna put a pond here. Maybe I'll just do that right now. So there's gonna be a pond here, and then we're gonna do a waterfall up there, like maybe 2 blocks wide. This is not a very efficient way to do this. There. And you? Anybody else? No. Okay. And then for the waterfall, I want to put that coming out of this block maybe. So there's one. Let's see the other. Nice. Nice. Maybe I'll open that up a little bit more so that it looks more like a cave. That's better. And I mean, I need to get rid of all of these dirt and cobblestone patches. There we go. Did I miss anything? I don't see anything. Oh, iron. I should do this as well. I broke my shovel. Okay, and I guess we can add this gravel in for texture. A little bit of controlled diversity in the floor now. And I should also add a little bit of gravel in the floor over here, but maybe more spotted and like indicating where the path is, which is gonna follow this wall and go into this next tunnel. There we go. And I also want to add some mossy cobble on the edge here, and maybe even some grass. But how am I gonna get the grass down here? I don't think grass can spread like this in this version. I know it can in the future. At least I think it can. But it hasn't done it yet, and this grass has already grown. Maybe I have to snake it down, unfortunately. And here's what... Oh, here's some cobble. Here's where most of the cobble is. We also have a chest down there with cobble in it. And I used some of it to make it into the stone that we just used. Maybe I should grab this. I grab some mossy cobble. I'll probably replace some of this with grass once we have grass down here, but I'm still trying to figure out what the best way to get that down here is. Maybe I should put some over here too. It looks kind of weird. Let me work on it. That's better. Okay. What do I want to work on now? Maybe getting the lava in here? How am I going to do that? I don't know of a lava lake anywhere near where I'm at. I think the best bet is just to go back to spawn. To our base. Because I know where a lava pool is there. Home sweet home. I remember when I was first caving, or first strip mining here, this was like 4 or 5 years ago. I kept running into a lava pool down here at the bottom. I believe it was this tunnel here. where that cobblestone is. There's lava. That's fine. There's probably 20 buckets worth here. And last ones. There we go. I don't even know where this lava is coming from. I got all 20 buckets from these like 4 blocks. But sweet. I think that's 20, right? It's 18, 19, 20. Sure. Alright, I'll leave that there. I brought that just in case if I caught on fire and then I could jump into this bucket or this water. This bucket? Jump into a bucket? That's not how that goes. Yeah, but the reason I remember that being there is because I rebuilt this mine. Oh, it's actually cool that I built 2 branches. I should have done that at the redstone area. I rebuilt this mine like 10 blocks up because that was really annoying. Goodbye, home. Oh, cool. So if I have my fog, this is far. If I have it on normal, I think this is. Yeah, normal. If it's normal, the fog starts rendering in. That's pretty cool. That'll look really cool once I have like lava and the redstone torches over there instead of regular torches. Alright, let's try this. I already put one over there, but let's do it again because I wasn't recording. So this flows, and that's what it's gonna end up looking like. Nice, sweet. You wanna go for a swim? Are you incapable of fitting through that gap? Okay. Okay. Come on. Heh. Alright, now I need to get the cobblestone stairs and the cobblestone outline of these arches done. I like this. And the reason this isn't the arch design I was going to go for originally, but the reason why I did is because if you look at it this way, you have to have that many blocks for it to look good on this side. So, and I still think this looks okay. Ooh, I need to get rid of that coal. There's actually a couple blocks I need to get rid of that are somewhat precarious. So, for instance, pretty sure I missed a block in one of these near the lava. Ooh, like this one. Need to be careful. Ooh, and this one. This one I need to be really careful with. There we go. If I let that last too long, it will make the lava flow out and it'll spread everywhere. Oh, I need to be really careful not to walk backwards into the lava. Is there anything else? I don't see anything. Sweet. Now, one thing I want to do is make this wall look better because currently it's way too flat. And so usually you fix that just by spamming a bunch of stone everywhere until it looks a little less flat. Maybe some stairs. And maybe I could do some buttons. How do you make a button? I don't actually know how to make a button. Is it cobblestone? I don't know how to make a button. I feel like you can. I just don't know the recipe. Let's do lever. Let's do pressure plates. Not there, because I'm gonna have to walk there. But we could put it on top. Yeah, nice. I think that looks a lot better. I looked it up. It's stone like this. Not what I expected. I don't think you can place them on the floor. No. That looks fine. Alright, the last thing I want to do is build a tree over here. And I think the best way to do that is just to spam some blocks. And see what happens. Just like that, actually. I think that actually looks pretty good. Maybe... Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any notes. Huh. I also put some couple stairs and slabs, or not slabs, the pressure plates over there as well, and against this wall, and the buttons. So I think I like this. But I'm out of time. This episode's too long already. So, I guess we can go back to the base and jump off the cliff like usual. Hey pig, you wanna go for a swim? Like your sheep family? They'll never get old. Well, I hope you guys had fun. Oh, this is taking forever. I was expecting this to be really fast. There we go. But this is going to do it for today. We actually got a lot done today. How do I navigate in this camera? Okay. Hopefully we build more Eldritch Spores soon. To get into the Christmas spirit, of course. But I'll see you guys on the next quest.